The world's top foreign ministers in India for the G20 meet. A question is, can India be a peacemaker amid growing tensions between Russia, China and the West, with a focus on the Ukraine war? More inflation pain for the common people. LPG cylinder prices hiked by 50 rupees. A cylinder now costs 1,103 rupees in Delhi, the highest price since March 2014, highest since the Modi government came to power. Above normal temperatures across India except in South India. In March to May, temperatures in Gujarat could touch 50 degrees Celsius. Arvind Kejriwal breaks his silence, hits out at the BJP, says if Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain join the BJP today, they'll be free of all the cases. MLAs Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj to take over Sisodia's portfolios in the Delhi government. Meanwhile, the BJP and the Congress stage protests against the Aam Aadmi Party, demand the Chief Minister's resignation. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge makes a U-turn, says he never said that the Congress will lead an opposition alliance in 2024. This at a push for opposition unity at Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin's birthday. But the cracks are clear as Mamata Banerjee, KCR and Kejriwal stay away from the birthday celebrations. Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Priyanshi Sharma. In this show, we'll update you with the top news stories of the day. Our lead story, the foreign ministers of key G20 nations will meet in Delhi on Thursday. Now, a point of contention in the way of coming to a joint resolution could be the Ukraine crisis, the Ukraine war, with contrasting statements from Russia on one side and the UK and the European Union on the other. Now, India will be in a tough diplomatic spot to work with other countries to arrive at a joint resolution. Here's a report. In less than 24 hours, these foreign ministers of key G20 nations will either make or break the possibility of arriving at a joint resolution, a key step in the G20 process of which India is the president. The stumbling block is Ukraine. There was no resolution last week when finance ministers of G20 nations met in Bengaluru, and it appears that the divisions are stuck on the issue of Ukraine.
It is true that the war in Ukraine is disrupting global energy markets, it is disrupting global food supply, at a time where we already have a lot of challenges in the global economy.
The Russian Foreign Ministry says Lavrov will openly talk about the reasons and instigators of the current serious problems in world politics. The United Kingdom says it will continue to call out Russian aggression in Ukraine. And the European Union says it will convey a strong message on Russia's blatant violation of international law.
Given the nature and the developing situation in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, naturally that would be an important point of discussions during the G20 foreign ministers meeting.
Indian diplomats remain cautiously optimistic despite a breakthrough at the foreign ministers meet.
India is putting out an ambitious agenda for the G20 foreign ministers meeting. But the threat of the Ukraine war overshadowing all other issues remains quite real. With Russia and China objecting to two paras of the outcome document in Bengaluru, India is putting all its diplomatic effort in trying to get a consensus going for a joint communique in New Delhi. But are the differences too wide at the moment to bridge? That is the question that looms large. With camera person Kanan Patra, this is Maha Siddiqui in Delhi for NDTV.
Now moving on, British Foreign Secretary James Cleverly raised the tax searches on the BBC with Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar during a bilateral meeting that happened ahead of a meeting of G20 ministers. This, according to sources, Mr. Jaishankar firmly told his UK counterpart that all entities operating in India must comply with the law of land. Now this comes after last month, the Income Tax Department searched the BBC offices in Delhi and Mumbai for 3 days over allegations of irregularities in taxes, diversion of profits and non-compliance.
Well, I didn't see the documentary, but of course I have seen the reaction both amongst the Indian diaspora community in the UK and here in India. Of course, the BBC is an independent organisation. It's separate from government. And I have found that I still enjoy a very, very strong professional relationship with Dr. Jaishankar. I'm enjoying a fantastic hospitality here in Delhi. So I think the relationship between the UK and India is as strong as ever. It's growing stronger by the day. And I'm very much looking, whilst I'm here in Delhi, to build on what is already a good bilateral relationship.
And there has been government action against another organization, the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act license, or the FCRA license, of prominent public think tank Centre for Policy Research. That has been suspended by the Union Home Ministry, and this over alleged violations of income tax laws. Now, CPR in response has said that it would explore all avenues of recourse. In a statement, CPR said that the IT department concluded a survey on its premises in September last year, after which their FCRA license has been suspended. Now, CPR also said that it continues to cooperate fully with the authorities and that they are absolutely confident that the matter will be resolved speedily in fairness and in the spirit of their constitutional values, of the country's constitutional values. Now, sources say that the appointment of Nagendra Ramachandra Nayak, who has been waiting for over 4 years after his name was recommended for appointment as a High Court judge, that appointment is still pending. Now, the reason for the delay in his appointment is because of his deep affiliation with a national political party at the state level, according to sources. Now, this after the Supreme Court Collegium had recommended his name thrice, which is a rare occurrence in the appointment of a High Court judge. The Collegium, in its third reiteration, has found that the government is deliberately delaying the file. It says that such cases, such delays affect the individual lawyer professionally as well as the institution. So clearly, a standoff between the judiciary and the government over appointing judges in the High Court. Moving on, more pain for the common people. The prices of the domestic gas cylinder have been raised by 50 rupees a unit, and this has taken the prices to over 1100 rupees per cylinder in several cities, which is in fact the highest price since 2014 when Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government came to power. Now, the rising prices of such an essential commodity is affecting households across the country that are already battling high inflation.
A 50 rupee per cylinder hike in domestic gas prices has made its cost the highest in almost a decade. The latest hike means 54-year-old Neena Devi, a daily wage labourer in Nagaland's Kohima, may have no choice but to switch back to cooking food on her clay stove to feed her family of 5.
हाजरा हो रहा है, हाजरा कर रहे हैं, हाजरा में डेली के कमाते हैं, खाते हैं, हो गया, बचता नहीं है, नहीं बचता है।
तो रह गया बात, नई गैस में उठाएंगे तो क्या करें, चूल्हा छोड़कर खुरी पर खाना बनाना पड़ेगा, वैसे करना ही पड़ेगा, उपाय नहीं है सर। सरकार से यही प्रार्थना करेंगे कि थोड़ा बहुत कमती हम लोग का गरीब को देखना चाहिए, यही और प्रार्थना, और क्या करेंगे सर।
2000 kilometers away in eastern Uttar Pradesh's remote Sonbhadra district, a middle-class household has similar concerns.
त्योहार आ रहा है, होली आ रहा है, फिर भी गैस का दाम और 50 रुपया ज़्यादा कर दिए। ये सबसे हमारे किचन पे बहुत प्रभाव पड़ रहा है कि कैसे मैनेज करें, होली उली आ रहा है, कैसे हम मतलब अपना बजट देखें।
The hike in LPG prices triggered this protest outside the Madhya Pradesh Assembly by Congress MLAs.
The steep hike in prices of cooking gas comes as a double whammy for families, particularly from the lower income households. These are families that are already reeling under inflationary pressures with skyrocketing prices of oil, pulses, milk and basic items needed for survival. With Priyanshi Sharma in Delhi and camera person Sanjay Chakravarti in Kohima, Vedant for NDTV.
Now news from the national capital. The Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal broke his silence and made his first statement after his deputy Manish Sisodia's resignation. Now he said that if Manish Sisodia and the jailed minister Satyendra Jain join the BJP today, they will be free of all the cases against them. Remember, jailed Delhi ministers Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain resigned on Tuesday, facing allegations of corruption and money laundering. Now MLAs Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj are set to take over their portfolios and become new ministers in the Delhi cabinet. Meanwhile, the BJP and the Congress say that the two resignations are not enough. They staged protests against the Aam Aadmi Party and demanded Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's resignation next.
हमने अपने दोनों मंत्रियों को इन्होंने जेल में डाला है। दोनों मंत्री बदल दिए। आतिशी जी और सौरभ भारद्वाज दोनों शानदार लोग हैं, प्रोफेशनल लोग हैं, पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, अच्छी एजुकेशन वाले लोग हैं। ये दोनों अब संभालेंगे। जो अच्छा काम सिसोदिया जी और जैन साहब कर रहे थे, वो अच्छा काम अब ये दुगनी गति के साथ चलेगा। किसी हालत में हम काम को रुकने नहीं देंगे। एक और बात उठती है, आज अगर मनीष सिसोदिया जी बीजेपी ज्वाइन कर लें तो क्या वो कल उनकी रिहाई नहीं हो जाएगी? छूट जाएंगे, वो कल ही छूट जाएंगे, वो सारे मुकदमे सारे खत्म। आज अगर सत्येंद्र जैन बीजेपी ज्वाइन कर ले तो सारे मुकदमे खत्म, कल वो जेल से बाहर आ जाएंगे।
Now moving on, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin's 70th birthday was turned into a push for opposition unity ahead of the crucial 2024 elections. But the cracks in the opposition unity were clear. While Samajwadi Party's chief Akhilesh Yadav and Bihar's Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav came for Stalin's birthday celebration, other principal players like Bengal's Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Telangana Chief Minister KCR stayed away. Now, at Stalin's birthday celebration, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge, in fact, made a U-turn in the stance of the Congress party on leading an opposition coalition. He said that we are not saying that the Congress party will lead an opposition alliance. This is in sharp contrast to Kharge's own statement a week ago in which he pitched for a Congress-led alliance for 2024.
All like-minded opposition parties must come together in this fight against the divisive forces. That is our desire. I never said who will lead, who will become the Prime Minister.
Moving on, the BJP is prepping a high-voltage campaign starring Prime Minister Narendra Modi, top union ministers and party leaders for the upcoming Karnataka elections. Now, the ruling party has planned what they call Vijay Sankalp Yatras from the four corners of the state. Now, BJP Chief JP Nadda has launched the first Yatra in Chamrajnagar. Next, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will flag off the second Yatra in Belagavi.
Poll season in full swing in Karnataka. The BJP today launched the second wave of its campaign, the Vijaya Sankalpa Yatra, a hard Hindutva push in the old Mysuru region, which is a stronghold of the Congress and the JDS. BJP's national president, JP Nadda, flagged off the ambitious Yatra atop the MM Hills, the pilgrim town in Chamrajnagar district. 4 yatras from 4 corners of Karnataka. Carpet bombing campaigned by central leaders. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will begin his Ratha Yatra from Belagavi, while Union Home Minister Amit Shah will launch the Yatra from Bidar and Bengaluru rural districts.
Why exactly did the BJP choose Chamrajnagar district? One major reason, of course, being Chamrajnagar is a part of the old Mysuru region. That is something which, especially the stronghold of the JDS and the Congress, which the BJP is trying to make inroads into.
ಸುಮಾರು 35 ಸೀಟಿಗೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಗೆಲ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂತ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗಿದೆ. ನೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಸ್ ಎರಡೂ ಜನ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇನು ಬಿಜೆಪಿಯನ್ನ ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸೀಟ್ ಗೆಲ್ಲುವ ಹಾಗೆ
The 4 yatras will culminate at Davangere on March 25th, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi attending a mega rally just before Code of Conduct comes into place in the state. The Congress launched the Prajadhwani Yatra in January, which is still ongoing. The yatras have been divided into 2 teams led by Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar in North and South respectively.
ಅದೇನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ರಾಜಕಾರಣನ ಬೇರೆ, ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ರಾಜಕಾರಣನ ಬೇರೆ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಒಳ ಜಗಳ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಲಾಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮೇಡಮ್.
And the JDS leader, H.D. Kumaraswamy, has been promising Telangana like development schemes if voted to power during his Pancharatna Yatra, which started in November 2022. Karnataka will go to polls in May 2023. In fact, the BJP did exceptionally well in 2018, especially in the coastal Karnataka and Mumbai Karnataka region. However, it fell short of a clear majority in the old Mysuru region. While the yatras of the BJP, especially the Congress and the JDS, are ongoing, the BJP now looks forward to attack both the parties from all the 4 corners of the state. In Chamrajnagar with Govind Shrija for NDTV.
Now moving on, days after the daylight killing of a murder witness in Uttar Pradesh's Prayagraj, bulldozers showed up at the home of a close relative of gangster Atiq Ahmed, who is accused of plotting the witness's killing. Remember, on Friday, Umesh Pal, a witness to the 2005 killing of a politician in Uttar Pradesh, was killed in a shootout just outside his home in Prayagraj. Now, the police had said that the killing was planned by gangster turned politician and former Samajwadi Party leader Atiq Ahmed.
A bulldozer rerun in Uttar Pradesh, where this house of jailed gangster Atiq Ahmed's close aide was raised in Prayagraj, just days after Ahmed, who is in a Gujarat jail, allegedly orchestrated the sensational murder of a key witness to a 2005 political killing of a BSP MLA, the gangster's rival. Atiq's wife and sons, also accused in the murder, lived in this house. The police say Zafar Ahmed, the man whose house was razed, has 6 criminal cases against him and gave shelter to the shooters after last week's incident. The police claim these weapons were recovered from the house.
श्री ज़फ़र अहमद खान को बिना नोटिस दिए एडीएस मकान को गलत तरीके से, अवैध तरीके से ध्वस्त कर रहा है। श्री ज़फ़र अहमद खान को कोई नोटिस नहीं दी गई ध्वस्तीकरण की, उनको पता भी नहीं चला, उनको न्यूज़ के जरिए से पता चल रहा है कि उनका मकान गिराया जा रहा है।
Yogi Adityanath's bulldozer policy has often been criticized as a means of selective targeting. But hours after the Prayagraj shootout, the UP Chief Minister had lashed out at the Samajwadi Party in the State Assembly over the Prayagraj incident.
लेकिन ये सच है कि आप ओडीओपी तो नहीं दे पाए, लेकिन 1 डिस्ट्रिक्ट 1 माफिया जरूर दे दिए थे। कहीं संगठित अपराध में लिप्त माफिया थे, कहीं खनन माफिया थे, कहीं पशु माफिया थे, कहीं वन माफिया थे, कहीं भू माफिया थे, और ये आम उत्तर प्रदेशवासी जानता है इस बात को।
The Prayagraj administration claims proper procedure was followed before the action by bulldozers. With Nitin Gupta in Prayagraj, Alok Pandey, NDTV.
With that, it's time for a short break. But on the other side, there's a heat wave, red alert, with higher than normal temperatures across states in India. We'll get you the details. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, this time it sure was too hot for February, but we should all brace for more higher than normal temperatures. Now, after recording the hottest February since 1901, India now has a heat wave red alert ahead as well. For example, in March to May, temperatures in Gujarat could touch 50 degrees Celsius. There could be higher intensity heat waves in north and central India as well. Now, there are above normal temperatures across Indian states except in South India already. My colleague Divya gets us more details.
February was the hottest in 122 years, with the average temperature touching 29.5 degrees. What are the reasons behind the temperature across the country on an average breaking an all-time record? To begin with, western disturbances that trigger snowfall and rainfall over the northern part of the country and change the wind pattern to cooler winds, those were missing this time around. The ones that did come about were not strong enough. Therefore, dry northwesterly winds, which usually control the temperature, those were missing. This time around, western disturbances led to just about no rain or snow, the two crucial reasons on which the length or duration of winter depends upon. So dry weather conditions coupled with warm winds led to a spike in temperatures. Adding to that mix was the anticyclone. That's a pattern that takes place every single year, but usually around the end of February or early March. This time around, it had set in earlier than time. Now that ended up making the temperatures 3 to 5 degrees more than usual in many places. Now the impact is already being felt on the power supply in Punjab. The demand shot up by 25% in February as compared to last year. Now, can we expect a similar pattern to follow in the months ahead, given that last March and April were the hottest on record since 1901? Unfortunately, I'm the bearer of bad news. Temperatures will be even hotter than what's usually the case in March, April and even May. There are higher chances of heat wave spells this year, and also the intensity and frequency could be higher, and the much needed relief from heat wave comes in the form of rain, and that too is expected to be below normal in northwest India, in west and central parts of the country, as well as parts of east and northeast, which highlights the impact of global warming. Well, the Met Office is also predicting the temperature in Gujarat, which is the hottest part in the country, to touch 50 degrees. Already, when we take into account the temperature there has touched 39 degrees in Bhuj. Brahmapuri closed on the heels at 37.8, Ahmedabad 37 degrees. Then we have the temperature around 36 degrees in Chandrapur, Surat as well as Baroda. When we talk about Mumbai, Mumbai is feeling the heat at 34 degrees. 33 degrees in Agra. Delhi is 7 degrees more than it should be at this point in time at 32 degrees. Jaipur is 4 degrees off the mark, which is also the case in Missouri.
And finally, on a lighter note, guess who has a new look? Rahul Gandhi has trimmed his hair and his beard for the first time since his Bharat Jodo Yatra. This ahead of his lecture at the Cambridge University. Now, you might remember that he had let his hair and beard grow out during his 12th state march, the Bharat Jodo Yatra. But now he has a new look as he landed in London on Tuesday for a week's tour that included a lecture at the University of Cambridge, which is his alma mater.